Hi, I'm Carl Kushinsky, the Apprenticeship Manager from AAWDC, and I'm here with Nicole Bentley from Safal Partners.
Thank you so much for having me, Carl.
I'm glad you could join us. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and about what Safal does?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a registered apprenticeship subject matter expert for Safal Partners. Safal Partners is a full-scale workforce development consulting firm based out of Houston, Texas, but we work in all 50 states around the country, and we support a number of different Department of Labor contracts and grants. Today, I'm here before you as a member of the USDOL National Industry Intermediary Team for Cyber and Tech Apprenticeship Expansion.
Well, that's very exciting. Why is apprenticeship so important to the IT and cybersecurity industries?
I think there are a number of reasons that I could give out. One of the most important that we like to highlight is that the demand for cyber workers is greater than the number of people that are available. So if you go on cyberseek.org, I think that national average sits around 83%, meaning that for every 100 jobs that exist, there are only 83 people to fill those jobs. In addition to that, by 2025, Gartner predicts that the cybersecurity threats will outpace the availability of talent to meet those threats and those demands. And so really, talent is a need across the board, but it very much works for cyber and tech because this is a field that would be considered non-traditional and historically has relied on finding candidates that have four-year degrees and are coming out of college. And what we have learned time and again, not just with cyber and tech, but really any industry at this point, is that talent attraction works to an extent, but the number of people we need to fill these roles simply don't exist. But there are people that can fill these roles if they have an opportunity or an on-ramp to learn how to do them.
It certainly matches what we're hearing in Anne Arundel County in terms of a great need, but a very small pool of candidates to pull from.
Carl, what are some of the needs that you all have seen businesses in Anne Arundel County have in regards to IT and cyber?
So two of the big ones that we hear a lot are the IT generalist or help desk role, and then also the SOC analyst. Those are two of the greatest needs that they have in this county for those entry point roles, and really where they need to expand their candidate pool so that they get the best talent. That's one of the reasons that we decided to create this group registered apprenticeship program so that we can offer those occupations and others based upon business need. What is it about a registered apprenticeship program that helps train these individuals for these critical needs?
Sure. So I think registered apprenticeship at its core is a fantastic in-depth training model because it requires an employer to host an apprentice for an on-the-job training, hands-on approach where they have the supervision of a mentor who's considered a subject matter expert in their field. They have a very clear, tangible set of skills that they know they have to learn. Not only learn, they have to master it in order to be able to graduate. They have to essentially be fully proficient. And so what registered apprenticeship does, it meets someone where they're at. So whether that is someone who has no experience, they've never done anything in IT tech before, or maybe they have a year of experience and they're already on staff at the employer's place of business, they can absolutely enter this program and it meets them where they're at and helps each of those different types of candidates to become fully proficient in the occupation. It allows for transparency in the sense of what they're going to be learning, how they can learn it. It also allows for transparency and wage increase. So as part of a registered apprenticeship, the apprentice does have to be paid and they have to receive at least one wage increase throughout the duration of the apprenticeship. They know exactly what they have to do to earn that wage increase, when they're going to earn it, and the amount that it would be. And I love that transparency factor because it enables the apprentice to come in with a very clear idea of what to expect. Unlike many jobs that you and I maybe have had over the years where that's not clear necessarily. For the employer, it is allowing the employer to standardize that skill set so that if you have a pool of, you have a talent pool, and within that talent pool, maybe 3 people can answer to any of those specific advanced projects, if you will. Once you have your apprentices go through your program, the intention is that anyone in your employee talent pool can do those advanced, more difficult projects because they've all learned the same skills. And you're now diversifying your talent pool not only with, oftentimes demographics, but with skill sets too. So you don't just have one person that you rely on full time. You can rely on multiple people to take care of the project or problem at hand.
I really like what you said there about formalizing that process. Really gives both that employee a clear path as to what their career ladder is, but also provides for the succession planning that a business needs to be successful. They can continue to move employees up that ladder in a very formalized way. Everybody knows what their path is and what they need to do to accomplish it.
Absolutely.
Registered apprenticeship programs require a minimum of 144 hours a year of related technical instruction. How is Safal Partners able to help businesses meet this need?
Um, so as part of our contract with the Department of Labor, we chose to partner with an entity called Cybrary. So it rhymes with library, but it's for cyber. And they are a learning management system. So we have access to the learning management system. And we have built out related instruction platforms for a number of different occupations that we support within our role as industry intermediary. And Cybrary offers, for those occupations, Cybrary offers the full related instruction coursework that they would need to meet that minimum hour requirement of 144. And it can always be customized for the employer to meet whatever that business's needs are. So if you want to add to what the template has, you want to change something out, there's employability skills in there as well that I know that AAWDC also helps with. All of that is able to be done. This is really a fluid approach, and again, customizable. If the business has internal training, that can be added in conjunction with that. But at the end of the day, we do have access to Cybrary. It's at no cost to both the sponsor employer and the apprentice. So no one pays to use this. We fully fund it through our contract, which is a huge benefit for someone engaging in registered apprenticeship. They can focus their efforts elsewhere if there are other program costs, because we aim to make that cost zero, essentially.
The IT and cybersecurity industries change very quickly, and businesses need to know that they have the most updated skills for their employees. Is Cybrary flexible enough to allow Safal Partners to meet that need?
Absolutely. Our team is consistently meeting with the Cybrary team to make sure that we have updates to any changes, coursework, the templates that we provide businesses to use as their foundation for their apprenticeship program, on our national program, anything that uses Cybrary or touches it. We are very mindful that we have the most up-to-date information, and we are constantly making edits as needed to make sure that we're responding to that fast-paced need, specifically for this industry, because that is pretty unique to the industry in the sense that it is fast-paced, and that these demands are ever evolving and changing, and we want to make sure that apprentices and subsequently employees can answer to that. We are also aligned with the NICE framework, and that is really important to us, both for our work process schedules and our related instruction through Cybrary, that it meets those foundational frameworks through NICE that have been kind of set forth as the gold standard.
And that related technical instruction through Cybrary doesn't just include those technical skills and those essential soft skills, but also includes practice testing for those industry recognized credentials that are needed?
Yes, absolutely. So in Cybrary, the apprentice can actually do practice exams for the major industry recognized credentials.
There are important differences between an individual registered apprenticeship program and a group registered apprenticeship program. With the group apprenticeship program that we're talking about today, what role does Safal play?
Sure, absolutely. I'll highlight really quickly the difference between a group registered apprenticeship program and an individual registered apprenticeship program is that in an individual program setup, the employer is both the employer and the sponsor. So they own the whole thing. They handle all of the administrative components, and they also run that on-the-job training component. With a group registered apprenticeship program like AAWDC is pursuing, AAWDC, or the sponsor, serves as that kind of umbrella entity that handles all of the administrative components. Safal can support either way, but especially with a group program, Safal comes in to provide technical assistance either to you as the sponsor in helping you create and register your program, and then we can also support your employer partners in the creation and setup of their specific role in the program to offer that on-the-job training component, whether that's help with mentoring or the apprentice themselves. And I would love to highlight some of the resources that AAWDC is specifically planning to offer as part of this group program, because I think it's quite a lot.
It is. So we're able to take on those administrative duties, freeing the businesses up to run their business.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be providing that on-the-job training and that mentorship for the apprentice. But when it comes to the record keeping that the state requires, that's a role that AAWDC can take on. Additionally, we will have an apprenticeship committee that will assist in the selection of the candidates. We're able to vet those candidates before the businesses interview them to make sure that they're really using their time wisely in that recruitment. We also work very closely with a variety of partners in the state and in the county. That includes the Maryland Department of Labor, who is co-located with AAWDC, and we're able to use them as a resource when we create these programs to make sure that the standards meet the requirements of the Maryland Apprenticeship Training Council and also the best practices for a registered apprenticeship program.
One of the most valuable things that I like to highlight when someone asks me why a business should engage in registered apprenticeship as part of their workforce development solution is the positive return on investment. On the national level, that's $1.44 for every dollar invested. And that number continues to go up as time goes on. And it's seen across all industries. At the state level, I have actually seen one state where the IT and tech statistic for the return on investment was double what the national average was, coming in around $3 almost. And that continued on all the way through 10 years into using the apprenticeship. Over the last decade, the Department of Labor has invested a significant amount of money into resources and financial incentives for registered apprenticeship programs. I would love to hear what resources are available specifically in Maryland to help businesses that engage in registered apprenticeship.
Thank you for that question. There are three major ones that I like to highlight. The first being that Maryland actually offers a tax incentive in the form of a tax credit of up to $3,000 per apprentice, up to $15,000 per year. So that's for every registered apprentice that they hire, up to $15,000 in a year. They also have funds available through the Maryland Works program that can help offset the cost of the related technical instruction, as well as the SAIR grant, which can also offset some of those costs. As part of the partnership between Safal partners and AAWDC, there are additional financial incentives that Safal has made available.
Yeah, absolutely. So as part of our contract with the Department of Labor, we are able to offer modest incentive funding. It is $500 per apprentice, available on a first come, first served basis. It can be used for program related costs, if there are related instruction costs, pretty much anything that the employer or the sponsor deem they need help paying for. It could be for technology, if someone needs a laptop, for example. The only thing that it doesn't cover is apprentice wage reimbursement, which is pretty typical of any Department of Labor funding, but it is available for almost any other program-related cost that you could think of.
And the partnerships that AAWDC has in our community and in this county allow us to really maximize those supportive services using these type of funds.
So what would the next step be for a business that either wants to participate in AAWDC's group program or create their own individual registered apprenticeship program?
Sure, I'd ask that they reach out to me at apprenticeship@aawdc.org. Be helpful to know if you've already picked an occupation that you're looking to fill, and I'll set aside time to meet with you individually, help you figure out what your pain points are, what occupations are suitable for an apprenticeship within your organization, and then what's most suitable, whether it's the group plan we're currently working on or if an individual plan makes more sense for you. So thank you so much, Nicole, for being with me here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And for our audience, please visit us at www.aawdc.org for information on upcoming events and webinars.